I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For those who are watching tonight on Facebook land, we have present here in the building, Clerk Jody Rogers, Deputy Clerk Tom Frauenfelder, Councilman Mark Major, and Melody from the Acantha, and the Friends of the Choteau Dog Park are here in force. So welcome. It's almost like we're serving food to get people here like this.
We got food?
Don't think I haven't.
We ate it
Yeah,
already.
yeah, I've thought about that, trust me, breaking out the smoker. First thing on the agenda this evening would be the approval of the minutes from the August 30th.
Mr. Mayor?
meeting. Yes.
Would you mind just announcing who's online? Just for the
Oh,
record.
yes, sorry. Online tonight are Councilman Doyakis and Councilman Murja.
Thank you.
And if anybody else pops in, I'll let them know. Sorry, Steve.
You're all good?
You can publicly flog me later.
Okay.
Minutes from the 31st.
I move approval of the minutes of the meeting of August 31st, 2021.
I have a motion from Councilman D.
Second.
A second from Councilman Major. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Our 3 ayes. Councilman Howard, by the way, is in the mountains guiding for Middle Sky Service, so he won't be out till tomorrow. That's why we're short. Anybody gonna be out of state? Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Okey-dokey.
Negative.
So they have all 3 of you guys online. Quick, like I want to do present resolution number 875. And this is a resolution canceling the November 2nd, 2021 general election, as nobody filed, all the races were uncontested.
I move approval of resolution 875.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman D and a second from Councilman Georgia.
Congratulations to all 3.
What's that?
I say congratulations to you, Councilman Major and Councilman Murja, on no one having run against you.
This saves us how many dollars roughly, Jody?
3,500 to 4,000.
So it's a good monetary, budgetary thing for us to be able to save that kind of money. Questions from anyone? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We will get that resolution passed, signed, and up to Clerk and Recorder Paula Giaconetti tomorrow or the next day. Ms. Cunningham,
Yes,
the floor is now yours for an update on the dog park.
grand.
And would you do me a favor? Would you close that door for a second? Because it sounds better from the podium when that door's closed.
Okay.
If someone knocks, see if they can slap you $20 and let them in.
Yeah, I don't think it's not long.
It's not locked.
Okay.
So,
Thank you for things on your agenda because we've accomplished a great deal. I'd like to introduce my group to you so you know
Please
who
do.
we are. I'm the president of the Friends of the Choteau Community Dog Park. And our vice president wasn't able to be here, Sarah Richardson, but she is our vice president. Our secretary is Cheyenne Browning. Our treasurer is Butch Vanderreet, who's engaged in other activities this evening.
Lord only knows what he's engaged in.
Always Mona, it's the Mona thing. And then we have 3 directors here, Jack Ward, Ann Carlson, and Lisa Hudnut. So this group of citizens has put together a proposal for a dog park here in Choteau. And one of the first things we need to establish is, why do we need a dog park? And I know for many people, they shrug and they think that there's no reason really to have a dog park. Oddly enough, the dogs who do enjoy those kinds of entertainment around here are up at Bright Eyes, where they have a fantastic fenced area. And then also over at Kelly Richter's, where she runs a dog hotel. And likewise, the dogs there have a jolly good time playing together. But for dogs who are trapped in personal homes, they don't enjoy that. And so having a dog park would be a delight. There's no place currently to take your dog safely off leash in Choteau. People use the rodeo grounds, but we know that's imperfect because there are horses there and campers and other people. The open land around the perimeter of Choteau is really inappropriate because first of all, it's privately owned. And secondly, there's, gopher poison out there, there are rattlesnakes out there. And not everybody has time to drive all the way to Priest Butte or the energy necessarily to run their dogs up and down Priest Butte. And so having a dog park here in town would resolve that problem. And we have too many cooped up barking dogs. I'm sure that the mayor can relate to the fact that barking dogs are a major problem in Choteau. And when a dog is allowed to exercise and interact with other dogs, there's probably less barking going to occur. They're social animals. They like to be with other dogs. Towns throughout Montana have dog parks. Not all of them are successful. There's some that have flopped. Usually the ones that are successful are the ones that are operated by enthusiastic volunteers and not by the city, because enthusiastic volunteers are obviously much more attuned to the needs of the dogs. I've got a list of many towns that have them. I won't bore you with the entire list, but they're little towns as well as big towns. St. Regis has one that's very nice. Thompson Falls has one. Red Lodge has one. You don't have to be big to have a dog park. And the benefits are monumental. I mentioned the barking. The best thing, would there be less poop in the children's parks? You know that Julie Brantley has commented on that. And in fact, I received a wonderful note from her praising the dog park idea. And she was our first donor to the dog park program, which, she regarded the dog park as a solution to what her complaint was all about. Visitors to Choteau frequently stop and run their dogs in our parks, which is not where they should be running their dogs, but they don't know any better, and having a dog park would give them a destination. And dog parks create community because people go to dog parks too. It's not just the dogs. And it's the camaraderie of the owners of the dogs is a delight. But it's not just limited to dog owners. If you don't currently have a dog, you can still come and enjoy the camaraderie without a dog. Let me give you those people who are here, the information that will help you understand what we're up to. Shall I leave a couple more for our absentee people?
Sure. Yeah, you know what, Polly, I'll scan it and get it sent out to them.
Okay, so you don't need it?
No, we're good.
Welcome.
Actually, I should say that Jody will scan it and get it out to them.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Thank
give
you,
credit,
Jody.
we'll give credit where credit is due.
Okay, moving on to, let's move on to the third page. We'll talk about a proposal in a minute. But let's move on to the third page is the map, because everybody says, where is this going to be? This map was made with the assistance of Mr. Hindorn there with his magic machine. And looking at the map, if you get it turned the right way, well, you guys didn't get a map, sorry. I gave you maps.
Oh, that's okay.
Maps are expensive to print. The orange box there is what's currently was the garden. We'd like to use that as the little dog park. It's already fenced. It needs gates attached to it. The pink line to the north is for the big dogs, and that's about an acre of land. It's all on city property. And it doesn't, change any of the current usage down there because there is no usage down there. We want to put parking over there off the alley where currently the New Life Church utilizes it on Sunday morning. But that area alongside the alley behind the New Song Church or New Life Church has, it's a stable area. It's not mushy. So it'd be excellent for parking. And then the gates to our two parks, the little dog park and the big dog park, will both be off that eastern side. So there's no traffic in the vicinity of the kid park. And there's no vehicle traffic. There are no dogs thronging around over there. All the activity is off the alley. You got that? And the way, if you haven't been to a dog park, the way dog parks work is they have a double gated entry. So you notice that there are little boxes over there on the right side. And you enter the first gate with your dog on a leash, you remove the leash while you're inside that little vestibule, and only then do you open the second gate and jump with your dog into the park. and that prevents runaways. There'll be a big gate there at the southern edge of the garden, and another big gate at the northern edge of the garden if we ever need to get equipment in there, such as lawnmowers and trucks or any kind of thing we might need. But there will be 2 utility gates there that will allow people to get in. Okay, moving back to our proposal on the previous page.
Will you have a gate between the 2 parks? Or they have to come out of one and get in the other? They can't go through a gate?
Oh, they can't go through a gate, no. The dogs are on, the safety of dog parks is enhanced, as you know from your insurance work, by having separate parks for different sized dogs. And it's not like getting on a ride at Six Flags. There's no like cutoff.
You gotta be this
It's,
tall.
it's what you think your dog is. You know, little dog people seem to know who they are. Big dog people know who they are. Corgis are always kind of a problem because you don't know.
That's a real fact.
I
That's a real
figured there was
problem.
so many corgis in town. We'll have corgi night at the
Yeah.
park. It'd be just fantastic. See if people can find their own dog. Here's our proposal that I have outlined and that we would love to have the city council in its wisdom approve of, so we can proceed. We've already created our nonprofit corporation. That has been done. We've applied for a 501c3 status. Allegedly, that could take quite a while, so we can say application applied for,
Yeah.
but IRS is not in a hurry. We intend to get $1 million liability insurance that will cover our activities.
The one that you have from us is 2,
Oh, well,
because the city has to be indemnified for $1.5 million.
oh, well, we can talk. That's
Yeah, so the quote we gave you was for $2 million.
how generous.
I just knew that the city, under the evil direction of their mayor, was gonna ask for that, so we took care of that already.
Okay, our major task now is to raise funds to support the park. The cost of the fencing that we need, which is about 800 feet of fencing to go around the big dog park and for the 2 gates. The prices of that are all over. It's really hard to establish a budget given the economy today because all the parks are very expensive. I've talked to Chad Peebles and he would recommend not even thinking about running up a fence for the next 8 or 10 months because it's just so incredibly costly. There's some ideas out there of you getting some old fencing from, say, the Lions Club tennis court and utilizing that. Chad wasn't too keen on putting up this temporary fence of that nature. I mean, even though the posts would remain the same, but he wasn't sure that'd be a great idea, but we're still toying with that notion. But we are gonna have 2 areas for big dogs and little dogs with double gates. There'll be amenities involved that we'll provide. Within the parks, people who bring their dogs do like to sit down. They don't have to stand all the time. A picnic table is always sort of included for, not that we're encouraging dining there, but it's sort of a nice thing to have around. Dogs actually like to sit on top of picnic tables. We'll also want to have odds and ends for the dogs to jump over or run around. Logs are delightful and our town has lots of logs. A couple of dirt piles, they already exist in the little dog park. We need to have some vertical posts established there on park property.
Oh,
Oh, nice, sure.
Councilman
I
Murphy.
think it came this way.
Thank you.
Because male dogs like posts, they don't need to have trees or fire hydrants, posts are sufficient. Boulders are also good, and there are plenty of boulders in our vicinity that would be ideal for entertainment for dogs. It's important to have a lot of neutral toys for dogs to cavort with. Tennis balls, where all the tennis balls belong to the park, so no one owns them. It's not unlike taking your children to the sandbox in a park. You want to have everything neutral, so no one has ownership. We will have poop bags and poop pickup tools, obviously, because one of the virtues of a park is to instill in dog owners the notion that you should pick up after your dog, that you don't pretend you don't see the dog squatting over there. Instead, you need to saunter over and pick it up. So we will have poop bags. We'll also have hopefully a little peer pressure. Whether we have to start taking pictures of people ignoring their pooping dogs, I don't know how to do it, but we'll cross that bridge later. We will have, on the subject of food, because I'm sure that'll come up, we will have plastic lined trash cans. I've talked to the people in Helen and Great Falls, and that's how they do it. It's done, they have plastic lined trash cans, so the garbage people don't have to deal with something too disgusting. We are gonna have rules and etiquette signs in each park entry to inform our customers as to what's expected of them. I included on the fourth piece of paper in your packet, I included, what was posted in, Great Falls. And I'm not suggesting we have to copy it, but it's a good template for what would be appropriate. God, they've got a lot of rules in Great Falls. Holy smokes, look at all those ordinances.
I thought it was interesting in the first paragraph, it says if your dog is having a bad day and not playing well with others, please take him home.
They haven't met my corgi.
They say take her home.
I know.
Okay.
Very sexist, I know.
Yeah. I know.
But
there's
anyway, so
attorneys
something of this
that-
nature would obviously be posted, and I'm not suggesting you guys have to suddenly generate all these rules and regulations, and we can just say, this is what you need to do, right? I mean, the ordinance declaration strikes me as hopefully excessive for good little Choteau. But there are some good rules attached here, and I don't have a copy of it, but there's another document that they have about etiquette for people who have never really been in a dog park and how you behave to sort of suggest to your dog that you're there for the fun of it and not because you're on your way to the vet. But people catch on pretty quickly. And then furthermore about our location, we're going to post signs out on the highway to indicate Choteau Community Dog Park with an arrow so people will know where it is and which approach is appropriate, which is off Fifth, not off Third, because we want to keep them south. Again, we don't want to violate the nice little neighborhood down there. So our request of the city council is to allow us to use the former community garden and the acre of land north of it. If you would continue to mow the property, which you do so beautifully, and we would notify our public when the mowing takes place and, you know, lock the gates and you can mow it without us. It's awkward if you have too many people and dogs there. It would be lovely, we'd love to have a water line run to the big dog park. They're off the, I guess the spigot at the ice rink would be an appropriate source of that
I
water.
forgot there's one there.
Does that sound possible? And then we'd love to have some garbage service, picking up trash cans in the alley, which again would be right there. Surely a garbage truck runs down that alley periodically.
When do you propose to be up funded, wanting to go? Because believe it or not, there is blowback from folks out there, and you would probably have to have a public hearing about this before you do anything.
We don't object to that. Public hearings are lovely. No,
Because I'd heard that you guys might be applying for some LCFW or
yeah,
grant
that's
money.
like, that's way in the future.
Okay.
The rotation on that process would be next spring.
Okay,
So, yeah, let's get some public hearings going, because we need to hop over that hurdle, you know? In order to even start applying for foundation money, and there are lots of foundations out there, all the dog food companies have foundations. T-Mobile has a community foundation that's designed for
you need a
small.
nod from the city on a piece of paper that you can submit to say we've been approved and we need the funding.
That's what they need a pretty letter from you
Yeah.
saying that they've been approved. That's why approval is kind of done.
Okay.
But no, I don't think that, I mean, we're not looking at immediacy, no, probably a year from now.
Oh, okay.
Next summer.
I mean, I'm just guessing, if it happened sooner, we'd all be thrilled,
Jumping up and down, okay. All right,
okay?
because Mike's on vacation, and Mike's a smarter man than I am, because he didn't tell anybody where he was going, and when I called him the other day, he said he was gone, and he wouldn't tell me where he was at. So, when he gets back, I'll talk to him about the water line and mowing issues if they would have any problems or issues with that.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be
Garbage,
great.
I don't think, because like I say, we're going down that alley to pick up garbage as is for Ace, for the vet clinic, for the church, so 2 more cans for the Choteau Mafia garbage crew to pick up. I'm not sure would be that much of a,
Oh, I wouldn't think so. And then the alley's already there.
yeah. So,
Would it be, I have some questions.
yes, I think it's-
I do as well.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead, Steve?
Thank you. So has your group talked to neighbors? I mean, I live within eyesight from my backyard of the dog park where the community garden area now, and haven't seen or heard anyone. It's definitely within earshot. So I'm just curious if you have a plan in place to talk to those neighbors that would be potentially affected.
Of course we do. And we also have a neighbor on our group, Lisa Hudnut, lives
Yep.
probably the closest to the dog park of anybody.
Yep, she's 2 doors down from me.
Yeah. And no, we would definitely want to talk to the neighbors.
Okay.
You know, eventually we can contemplate having greenery planted along the outside of our fence to break up the fence line so it doesn't look like we live across the street.
Oh, I have no issue with the visual. I'm just saying, like, within proximity, I'm, I have a kind of direct line of sight to it, so I'm maybe not adjacent, but close. And so just want to make sure that we include the folks who would be affected by barking dogs.
Dog
Um,
parks aren't terribly noisy, actually.
Okay.
No, the dogs are running around and they're not really barky.
Not usually, no.
No, and it's not like having dogs penned in the backyard where they're bored out of their mind and all they do is bark.
Yep.
So and it definitely is a dawn to dusk arrangement, and we're not putting in lights and having nocturnal
Perfect.
dog park.
Next question I have is you had mentioned the parking area potentially being on the east side across from Stewart's Church, right? Yep. So, is there something in place with that? Do they have a lease? Stuart, does your church, or Jody or Chris, can you answer? Do we have a lease in place? Okay.
It's a gentleman's agreement, basically.
with the law.
So if folks want to be there on Sunday with their dogs, is there any ideas? Have there been any discussions to resolve any potential space conflicts or anything like that at this point?
What do you think, Stuart? Should we just not encourage people not to come on Sunday morning so you can go to church?
Well, as of right now, there's about 4 or 5 people who park back there. So, I mean, depending on how big your parking space is gonna be, I don't think it would be an issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless everybody would wanna take their dog on Sunday morning and then,
Drop the dog off and go to church.
well, you know.
Thank you, Polly, for jumping on that.
Yeah, Kelly Ritter warned me that that's one of the problems with people is they'll drop their dogs and go to Rex's or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's, okay, go ahead, Steve.
Thank you. Next question is, you kind of alluded to it a little bit, Polly. Is there a broader poop cleanup plan? Quite frankly, I know that we're going to encourage folks to pick up, and that's wonderful. And we do a lot of encouraging folks to pick up after their dogs in this community, and it doesn't always happen. So, is there a plan? Does your group have an idea of a plan to have a regular cleaning?
Yeah, no, all dog parks have to close for, what do they call it, sort of general upkeep day.
Okay.
But it's a dreadful precedent because then people shrug and say, well, we'll let the servants do
Someone else is
that.
gonna clean it up.
Yeah,
No, absolutely. I just know that, especially in
Yeah, no, I agree.
the
If you
dog
could-
days of summer, it can get
we
rather
could make
warm and
everybody who
smelly.
doesn't pick up their dog come to dog upkeep day, that would be better. But yes, you're right.
And it's just a comment on one of the things you said. You talked about ordinances from, the Great Falls ordinances. I would like to avoid, just as a general comment, the city putting in ordinances. This is the goal is to have this be publicly or privately funded, privately operated.
Oh, yeah, me too. That's why
And so they would
I-
be your rules, not our rules, would be my preference. Just as a comment on that. Let's see. And I did just want to generally clarify that this dog park does not necessarily mean that there's going to be any change to our current park system, the city park, the mini park, that they are open to the public, including dog owners, it won't affect that. That's more for the mayor to consider than for you, Polly.
Right,
Thank you.
welcome, thank you.
Councilman Major.
Well, and so I realize this is an Onyx map. because I see it, but is that a right of way right there?
It's not to scale.
I know, but it's got a right of way right in the middle of it.
It does, there's
It does show it on cadastral as well.
Yeah,
So is that that's something,
that's city owned property as well.
but is that an abandoned street or is it an active street?
It's an active
It's
street.
So do we have to go through a whole other process to
No.
abandon the street?
No, I
We
would
could
not.
give them we could do something in the contract for that if we ever wanted to use this.
Okay. Steve asked about it, but so the city would mow it. I guess the concern I have in that is that, 15 years from now, who's gonna be the human that waters it, that cleans it, that empties the trash, the bags, puts it in the the idea is that the committee will go in perpetuity on and
Exactly.
off
I'm-
but the
yes.
committee's committed to doing those things, whether it's a water day and they water it. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, that
Okay.
is true. And it's not only us, it's just all the users are in a sort of co-op to keep it going. That is our desire.
Looking at the list of directors, Cheyenne's the youngest, so in 15 years, she'll be where she's at.
And I guess what I'm wondering, and I will even say concerned about is there's a lot of great ideas that come up and then it's great and the first year is great and then by the fourth year, it's like people use it all the time, no one clean. That's it. It's a concern that has nothing to do with this committee or the dog park. It's a concern of being 45 years old and seeing this process.
I agree.
Okay, so I guess maybe I just wanted it noted. That's something that I would be concerned about.
I think
and I'm
that's a
sure you
realistic concern.
Talked about, okay.
It
And
is.
we talked about that when Paul and I originally sat down.
Yep. Steve talked about some of the ones with neighbors and timeline and stuff. The other question I had is whether we had, ordinances in place or not. Who's the human that sort of, if you will, enforces, I'm looking at like Great Falls and I realize they have all these ordinances, but it says, and I'm assuming you will have something similar that says, hey, if you don't follow these, you're gonna kind of be, and I'm just wondering how, so, Fred Johnson breaks those rules and then he keeps showing up. Like, how does that happen? And I guess, again, this is my overall concern with the city, our size is, we've got a book this thick of ordinances and we have, like, Tom has 17 minutes a week to try and enforce those, if you will. And
Right.
so I'm just trying to figure out, is there a process or is that something you're still considering? Like, what do we do with someone that just constantly
Violates everything.
do you
Yeah.
break their kneecaps or what do you do?
I honestly don't know. We haven't really even talked about it.
And maybe again, it's just a food for thought.
Public shaming, do we put a sign on the gate?
A picture with them and their dog
It's
just,
video and it's just always on Facebook
Yeah.
Live, and you.
it's more of just food for thought.
Yeah,
Because that's the one issue as I've run into being on the city council, I'm like, well, we really need to do something about that. Well, we is like, who's we?
Yeah.
So do I walk around with a clipboard and be like, and so that's,
oh, I agree.
yeah, but that's something to think about. How is that enforcement gonna take place?
But we're gonna have a Facebook presence.
Facebook shaming?
They're already,
Oh, good.
we're already there apparently.
There is.
I don't know where it is, but she's made it. And I mean, maybe through that venue, you can, encourage people to behave. I don't know.
Well, and I found that, 90-something% of people are like, oh, yeah, okay, but there's always the one or two that are like, you can't throw me off, it's city property, and it's whatever. And so I always try and think worst case scenario. I'm an insurance salesman, right? So,
Are you too?
yeah. So, but that's my thoughts is just something to think about, how to plan for it,
Yeah,
what are the options,
yeah.
so.
No,
And I just want to kind of piggyback on Councilman Major's comments that my preference would be that this would not be, any enforcement wouldn't be city enforcement. It would be your group's private, like the rodeo grounds is managed by the Legion. They have policies on who can be there and who can't. It would be, if there are bad actors in your group, you would deal with them, whether they're trespassing or you trespass them or whatever. It wouldn't be Tom or Jody or the mayor or whoever.
And so I guess along with those lines, maybe this is a question for Mr. Mayor is this, we sign a lease with them once they're a 501c3?
We would do, yeah.
And that would transfer all the liability with one
Correct.
another. Yeah, so that would actually solve that, I think, because it would be leased to a private individual.
Oh, yeah,
private
but
group.
Yep, that's the
That's
point.
fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted to verify, no worries.
Good.
Those are all my
Yeah,
questions.
I would never advocate it or suggest it, but there are some trees there that might hold a game camera,
Mhm.
you know?
I hear you.
camouflage. into the
There's a
trees.
lot of Ring doorbells being installed.
Yes,
in
there are a
Choteau.
lot of doorbells being installed in this community. Councilman Merjak.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything other than, I think you guys asked them all. Couple of thoughts, maybe Penny and group, you talked about it kind of being a co-op, so make it a co-op. Make it a membership thing, and so, and I mean, it could be $1, but what it does is it gives people ownership. And what that does is, if somebody has ownership in something, then they take pride in it. It might solve some of your boot pickup problems. It might solve some of your people dropping off and running into Rex's or whatever. It might also cause those problems, but it gives people responsibility and accountability as well.
But how would you, as the city, feel like us using city land and then making it a member only
It
arrangement?
wouldn't be a member.
I didn't
only,
say member only, but I'm saying that as, especially
Your
your,
core group.
yeah, because Tim Kelly's shop, Cenex, is a
Mountain View
Mountain View co-op. I
Right,
mean, we can all use it, we just don't get the kickback. We
Unless
don't,
you're a
we,
member.
what, right, unless you're a member, you don't get the dividends at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's still a co-op you can use.
I know.
You know, you look at Bountiful Baskets, it's a co-op that whoever contributes to it is a member that
We'd
week.
have to change
Just,
it.
just because you don't wanna contribute doesn't mean you don't get the benefits the next time. So if you create it as a co-op, you create that ownership, you create that responsibility for it. And I mean, like I said, charge them $1, say, okay, it's, you know, what, or make it $5 to use it for the year, and that buys your bags, you know, something
No
like
different
that.
than the Friends of the Library.
Mhm.
You contribute to that group, or no different than, you know, any other group. It's nothing more than, it's a fundraising means. You are a 501c3 as you get ready to go. And again, it does give people the opportunity to buy in. See, I got a little bit of ownership in that, so I'm gonna take. credit for that. I'm gonna keep an eye on people who aren't.
And I would point out to all involved in that discussion that Tasga grounds, Weather Beater, and Rodeo grounds are all publicly owned, and Country Club for that matter, the golf course, are all publicly owned. They're city-owned property that are leased out to those organizations that restrict who can use and who can't.
And they're member managed.
Yeah,
okay, well, I'll have to talk about that.
another thought is make
But other
sure,
people can still use it, it's not like put
yeah,
a code on the gate,
No.
only the dollar people are allowed in.
no, it's not, and I'm not picking on the Sportsman's Association, but it isn't like their grounds that are member only, because they have a key and they have, you know, they do have things that need upkeep, keeping like that. It wouldn't be keyed only. Your visitors could still use it, and I would honestly say you don't have a check-in, check-out. You know, please, if you liked our dog park,
Sign
you
in.
know, sign in
Give us
and
an
give us
email address.
your address or your email address and tell us what you like, tell us what you didn't like, have a comment card there. You know, maybe somebody from Timbuktu will come along with a wonderful idea about how to change it or make it work better or what didn't work.
Or a large check.
Yeah.
Or a large check, yeah.
My thought, the sewer dump has that like metal, solid metal box for the padlock where
Mhm.
people just put money in.
Mhm.
You know, you could have a donation box, it just has to
Right
be
there.
solid, so someone can't break into it.
Yeah. Or have it deep within the dog park so they can ram their car into it.
Yeah. So,
I think that's all I got.
anyone
Thanks,
else?
sir.
Polly, here's what we will do. I will
Okay.
sit down, I'll reach out to you, sit down, look at our calendar for a public hearing, what we can do, and get one scheduled.
Okay,
And I would probably hold it at the pavilion rather
Wow.
than here, okay?
big time. Cookies.
Well, call me crazy, but social distancing, I guess, is coming back in,
Oh, yeah, why, I
That
understand, but.
so I would look at doing that. But you
Okay.
guys have presented us with a very comprehensive, and a very well put together plan, know that.
Well, and thank you for, making a plan that works with what kind of you and I think the mayor and you have talked about. I do appreciate that. It's something, quite frankly, I do want in the community. I would love that. I've got 2 dogs who are trapped in their backyard and get bored out of their minds and bark at everything, every leaf that rustles down the road. So this would be a
Yep.
great boon for them. But I do appreciate you working within what we kind of laid out as our request for leasing that land.
Thanks, Gene.
Thank you, guys.
Right, now COVID's been tough on dogs. dog behavior has gotten a lot worse because of COVID. Because we're all jumpy about people and they pick up on that.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much for the time,
Thank you.
and we'll be
Thank
back.
you, guys.
I'll be in touch. Thanks you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Now, we don't have to stick around for the rest of the meeting. do
You
we?
don't have, no, you don't have to. It's not church.
Oh, come on.
Careful.
Thank you.
Wait for communion to leave.
We'll be back.
I'm going to jump ahead and Samantha, what did you learn? You learned you should have been here early and we'd have taken care of you first.
Definitely.
Then I'll tell you some other folks, though, they're never on time.
I try to change that.
She
Because you married him.
Yeah.
You married him.
She sent me a text message that she was gonna be late. So our next item it's not on the agenda because it is not an action item, but I'm gonna have Samantha Brooks from Northwest Farm Credit Services come up. Podium, tell us what you're up to, and then I'll have Chief Passmore.
I'm supposed to prepare.
I told you you should
Don't
have-
worry, I didn't either, so.
Got a vamp.
You should have, 800 words or less.
You're right.
No.
5 minutes of a speech.
No.
Do you want me to just?
Yep,
is it-
over here where the people can see you on the camera.
I do have to go there.
If they can see you over the glare, I'm gonna.
What? We were having-
Wow. I look completely,
So,
I look
yep.
like too much.
I know, people, Samantha Brooks from Northwest Farm Credit Services.
You'll be fine, man. You want me to go up there and do it for you?
All right, thanks everybody for inviting me. So what I'm doing here is presenting a real community grant check. I'm a relationship manager with Northwest Farm Credit. And so one of our key initiatives is to stay connected to our rural communities and help provide funding when we can for community projects. And so that's what we're doing here. The fire department, do you want to come on up and tell them what we're doing?
Yep. So for everybody on the camera, I am Chief Matt Passmore for the Choteau District in Teton County. What we are trying to do is make our hall
For lack of a better term, turn it into Noah's Ark. It'll be a place that has power when everybody else has no power. And as we continue, a haven, as we
Yes,
continue to grow, we're going to try to put an addition on the back with a full service kitchen. So that in the event of a long-term power outage in the city of Choteau, we would have a place for those folks who do not have power to come, have a cup of coffee, stay warm, and function while Northwestern Energy does their stuff.
Safe haven. Is that what
A safe haven, yes.
So,
And
in that the fire department's been working with the city huge on this, and we're working with the county. And this grant was brought to our attention for a generator. And that's what is our first step is how do we get the power to stay on right now? Because when we have blackouts and we have structure fires, our air systems don't work. We cannot replenish our bottles. We have an hour's worth of labor we can give the community and then we're done. So
that came into play with the Gunther fire this summer.
yes, sir. So this is a step for us to get the ball rolling. So that's what we're doing. And so we really appreciate and thank you for helping us with this.
No, we're happy.
All
So
right.
$3,000 to help you with your project. And also you can apply for as many rural community grants as you want to. There's no end to our funding. Every quarter we reevaluate applications. So,
And Nelson Brucker said, thank you for coming up. He wanted to be here, but he's actually at a farm. He's in Denver.
yeah, I talked to him this morning
Yep.
actually, so.
And Jim Hodgkiss checked in as well. And he goes, if no one's gonna be there, I'll be there. And I said, and you were on that text string. So, so we appreciate you greatly. And as if things pop up, we will definitely reach back out. Your process was very simple and very easy. And I apologize for messing it up.
No, you were good. Glad that it worked out. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you, Chief Passmore.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys can seek out and leave the diehards here.
Now it feels like a city council.
Yeah, we're back to
Mel's there. Hey, Mel.
Yeah. Jody, you want to turn your camera?
Yeah, get the.
Everybody left.
So truly, who's sitting back out there in the corner, hiding behind the corner on the off camera is Melody.
And Steve's still online.
And Steve's still online.
I am.
Anybody else online?
No, me,
Just Facebook possibly.
yeah, me and that camera manager. So with, next item with Greg Duncan not being here, we will move that to a different time.
I move that we
Don't
table that.
Don't table it.
Don't
No?
table
Okay, move to postpone it. Do we need to do
Yeah.
anything with it then?
I'm just gonna leave it on call.
Yeah, we just don't even, we just bypass it.
So next item would be the vote on the wastewater improvement bid approval. And in this motion, I would ask for a motion to approve contingent upon the funding agent's concurrence and to allow the mayor to sign off on the notice of award.
So moved.
Mel, did you get all that?
Which one moved and which one seconded?
That one moved, that one second.
Okay, that was at the same time.
I
Yeah,
have
it was a
major,
syllable.
I have a
difference.
major first and Dwayako second.
Okay.
We don't want to confuse you with merger, major merger.
So we've got our documents from both rural development and from the engineer certifying that they've worked with our contractor, with Ed Bowles Construction, and that they, as the current low bidder, Great West has worked with Ed Boland, and past performance indicates their ability to complete the Choteau wastewater project in a quality manner. And they provide their recommendation, as does rural development.
Rural developments in this recommendation too.
Yes, they did.
They have actually concurred as
Concurred,
of
yes.
3:30 this afternoon.
Okay.
We're still waiting on interim financing concurrence from SRF. We should get that next,
Which one?
probably
is that?
tomorrow. That is
interim.
DFC.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. The acronyms changed.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So, are there any, Mel, you have any questions on this one?
I don't,
You do give me a shout.
yeah, it's kind of spells out what it's for.
Yes.
Under item, we have 4 bidders.
All very close.
Yeah, less
Yeah.
than $126,000 top to bottom.
And
And
then.
Bowling down at Great Falls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Been around forever.
Yeah.
So,
Tom Mullins, brother.
no, I don't believe they're related.
Okay.
Since there's no other questions, those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We will get that taken care of. Claims book, Steve, if you get time, will you,
What is the construction timeline on this?
the construction, we will have an addendum to sign because we originally was out to 90 days.
Right.
And we received notification from 3 of the 4 contractors that they didn't believe they could get it done in 90 days. So it's been extended to 120 working days.
With that likely to start?
With that likely to start, yes.
Yeah, sometime next year, I mean,
Yes, it's going to fall back to the contractor. The contractor could go in this fall.
okay, all right, yeah,
Yeah.
just to,
We gave them some leeway,
Yeah.
thinking
oh,
that
okay, I wasn't sure if this was like,
because of prices,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's, once they get it.
Once they get it and receive the notice of award from us, part of the documentation they have to return to us is the start time.
Okay, within the
Yes.
next 12 months.
yes.
Okay.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yes. My hope would be sooner rather than later as well.
You were about to ask me something, Mr. Mayor?
What's that?
You were about to ask me something.
No, I was just claims.
Oh, okay.
You
I move
want
approval
you
of the
to
claims.
send a Look as soon as you
Yes,
can.
I was gonna tell you when you get a chance, swing by and
Got
sign.
We need a motion on claims?
I need a motion on
I think
claims.
Steve
Even though
might
you've
have
already
just,
done it.
did Steve just make one?
Did you make a
Yep.
motion?
I did.
Any questions on the claims, gentlemen?
They're pretty straightforward this month.
They are, very much so.
No, those are actually the claims from the end of last month, because we had the meeting on the 31st.
On the 31st, yeah.
We'll have more at the next one.
You don't have any you need to pay before the end of the month?
Those in favor?
Aye.
We will pay the bills since no one's against them. Law enforcement report, pretty straightforward as we move into our reports tonight. And I thank 31-8 for getting that stuff together for us. 6 traffic stops, 2 arrests, 1 theft, 97 calls in addition to the above. And he's got 3 stars after this. Choteau residents need to be reporting unusual behaviors. You need to be proactive and lock vehicle doors and make sure houses are secure and do not leave valuables in your vehicles. I can't tell you guys that enough. I hate to see it in small town America as everybody else does, but it's time to clamp down. City judge, 6 cases, 5 felonies, 1 misdemeanor. The 5 felonies would go automatically to the county attorney above the city attorney because it's a felony, it automatically goes there. So Jen handled one of those cases. The other 5 went to Jen, I would venture to guess, at the county attorney's level.
So if 4 of them were theft, does that mean we're starting to catch some people?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Were the people that were, I mean, maybe?
I don't know
Okay,
and I don't ask,
okay.
to be honest with you. I try and stay out of these guys' dabbling. Most of the information that was here is in the campaign.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to get a feel for, with a lot of the thefts that are we catching the people that were behind that so that the thefts are going down? I'm not saying don't be vigilant, I'm saying.
No. Yeah.
Is it getting better or is this a whole separate issue?
It's not getting any better.
Okay.
Well, and this, we went through a rash of this, 8-10 years ago? Then a lot of it was, people looking for prescription meds, but there was, there were half a dozen applications.
You guys did not get a public works director report. I have one here, and this is a report that Mike submitted to the county, to Danny Arps, as part of their growth policy and some of the changes that they are doing on their end. And it covers literally everything that we've done from 2013 to current. Chip sealing, water projects, things along those lines. So Mel, I'll make sure you get a copy of this as well.
Thanks.
And Mike has no idea I did that. I just grabbed it off my desk and said this is gonna be Mike's report for the day. Jody's report is in here as well. I can report that Jody's here and working. That's about all I know on her report. Look at her desk.
Yeah. Went Friday at 5. That's
Yeah.
really good. Monday morning.
Tom, I'm gonna skip over us and go to you for building.
It's at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And they're still coming in.
I'm assuming that tapers off through the winter.
It will taper off some, obviously,
Yeah,
Once
you're
it
not laying a
snows.
bunch of
Yeah.
concrete and don't
Yeah.
a lot of outside
but I
projects.
just approved another deck and fence, so they just kind of,
People coming in talking about building a house.
Yeah.
yeah, people are still looking at building.
So now we need to talk to you about mine, because I don't think a fence was on my original permit.
I would tell the folks that
That's
are
just-
watching or that are listening,
Just a quick zoning permit, so.
anytime you're going to do something on your residence, call, ask, or come in and ask, because we would rather you come in and ask and tell you no, than have you do something and all of a sudden we're trying to track you down and get a permit going halfway through a project. We're
Speaking
doing
of,
that on the commercial side as well.
I was just gonna suggest that on the commercial side, have we talked to the new owners of Teton Lumber, Tom?
Are they doing
They've-
something?
Oh, they've got all sorts of big ideas, so might be worth having a conversation or calling into them.
Good.
Sure.
Exciting ideas, for the record. I wasn't being facetious, but we need to make sure we loop them in on what they need to do.
Good.
We're getting folks to understand that, well, this is how they did it where I came from. Doesn't fly. You're here now. This is how we're gonna do it. So we're getting there. Slowly but surely, painstakingly sure, slowly. Councilman D, a voice from the sky. What have you got for us?
Trip of the month tickets are still on sale for the Choteau Lions Club. It helps support the pool. We had our first drawing. I haven't heard yet who won last night, but
Obviously, it wasn't me.
yeah, no, it wasn't me either.
You know Mel?
I think I might, but I didn't look at the email, so I don't.
No worries, but they can talk to any Lions Club member and order, buy your ticket. There's a lot of great trip opportunities, and it does help our local pool.
Okay. Anything else?
We are recruiting for Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts right now, and it's open to boys and girls, ages kindergarten 5 up to high school. We've got a lot of adventures planned for the Scouts BSA, especially. They're looking at going down to Florida to Sea Base next summer, maybe even next spring potentially. That is a really exciting opportunity, and if you want your son or daughter to be involved, contact me or my wife or any of the other folks involved in Scouts.
Thank you, sir. Chamber?
We had our calendar meeting, pretty standard fare. It sounds like there's opportunity for Lions Club and Seroptimus to do a New Year's Eve party, which would be a lot of fun, something earlier in the evening and just another kind of event to have throughout the year. Folks seem to be easing back into post-COVID hopefulness, which is exciting. A lot of events scheduled that we didn't have in the last couple of years. So,
And a position open on the board.
What's that?
Position open on the board.
Yes, there's a position up on the board.
yep.
Speaking of COVID, the press release just came in that there are an additional 14 active cases tonight. And there are now 42 active in the county.
That makes 30 in the last 2 days.
That makes 30 in the last 2 days.
Go through the record that it's not exactly the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's
because
like the
all
last-
days.
Yeah.
5
It's over the
days
weekend,
or
5
whatever,
days,
yeah.
yeah, because they're not
Since
doing
the
reports.
17th.
Yeah.
That's,
Still 7.5 cases a day.
it's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
definitely on.
Someone be gotten the Rona.
Yep. Councilman Major,
I just wondered if you can give us any update on the railroad crossings. I know they were,
they're going to beat the band. They showed up a day early, got everything
Okay.
cut yesterday,
Good.
and they got them pulled out today. I haven't been over there yet. I'll go check on them in the morning.
I thought they were out of it, but I didn't see how
The
far.
BMSF equipment is here to start laying stuff and setting the track, it looks like.
Yep, they're,
Yep, so and that's on the Columbia Drain Crossing, which is the westernmost crossing.
Yep.
So to me, when I left the bank, it looked like the track and the ties were in, but I don't think the cement
I don't believe they
crossing
poured yet
pieces
either.
were yet.
They're
Well, I don't
taking,
think they're pouring, it's
I
those
think they have
cement
them.
pieces that
The
they're setting
blocks.
in there. And the reason for that is if you pour it, then you gotta pull it all out, but if you do the blocks, then you can pull out 3 and replace ties and replace rail.
the roadmaster we talked about pouring, that's why I threw that term out there.
Pouring gravel.
They are removing the farthest east one, and
That's the one right by Frontline, or Front Range.
yes, because that line is dead, and they may not get all 3 at this juncture, but they promised best they could 2. We have a roadmaster who is being a roadmaster for this week, and then he's going back to his other job. But this was his task that he wanted to get done. He'd been through here inspecting line and said that this was his priority while he was a roadmaster to get as far on this project. as he could.
So Chris, are they planning to remove, I mean, they're removing the farthest east one, that's the deadline. And then the other 2, are they supposed to be replacing both of those?
Yes.
So it's a 1 remove, 2 replace?
Yes.
Okay.
This isn't a rubber mat replacement.
No.
This is those,
This is,
Concrete block.
well, but it was also those preset rails
Yes.
they put in there and put the blocks. Yeah.
and the state highway department's over there, and we have a crew over there at their ready with
Good.
our mini excavator, our back truck, and our loader to help them out.
Cool.
So-
That was just, thanks for the update. I know they were on it
Yeah.
after. I think when I got on the council, we were talking about how they needed to be.
Then you've been on how
Well, you know,
4 years.
their timing was impeccable because I was about ready to go back to my
Call the number
personal,
on the
not
side.
personal social media page and with the phone numbers to call.
Yeah.
And that wasn't gonna be BR 549, it was gonna be. So I thank them for doing it.
Anyway, that's all.
Councilman Merja?
We've gotten most of the way through the information download that was sent to me about skate parks. Hopefully, come next month, I will have something put together so we can all start looking through it and figuring out what's out there for funding, what we want to do, start looking at where we might want to put it. And Spencer Morris, Buckman, no, I think it's Spencer Buckman is what he goes by. Is pretty excited about possibly doing a BMX track at the same time. And so he and I are talking, and he's working on getting me information, but he's also drumming up community support. He's figuring out if it's something that we would actually use here or not. So, you know, kudos to him for beating the pavement and, you know, trying to make something happen. Other than that, it's pretty quiet.
From the mayor's desk, my desk is messier than Jody's, just so you know. There's a lot of correspondence over here for the council, and Mel, if you want to take a peek, that was sent out this month. The hottest topic that crossed my desk that I just want to throw out there, you guys, and that is now is, again, comes from Clayton Perry, the guys at Teton Lumber wanting to dump their Biffy water into our system. And you can see the letters that I've sent. It's not a good idea. It's not recommended by DEQ. Our wastewater operators don't want to do it. City of Conrad will take it for 10 cents a hundred. They are set up to do it properly with a dumping station that separates the solids from the liquids, then slowly injects the liquids into their system, so you don't have an issue of shock in the system, damaging your biological atmosphere, and potentially opening up your community for administrative actions or fines from DEQ or other governmental agencies. And
What have they been doing?
they've been dumping it in the lagoon at the Miller Colony, but that's no longer allowable under law. And even though Conrad people will take it for 10 cents a hundred, their reply was they can't take it to Conrad for 10 cents a hundred by the time you figure wear and tear on a vehicle, insurance on a vehicle, workman's compensation, all that other stuff. And my reminder to them was it's very, very dangerous when you as a private entity come to a governmental agency or governmental entity such as the city of Choteau to solve a problem for a private business. And I cannot see where we would go to the city of Choteau's ratepayers and say, hey, we need $500,000 to build a
For this, yeah.
facility so that a local business can dump Biffy water into our sewer system. I would be more likely to entertain the local business bringing us a proposal that says,
Yeah.
we're going to build this facility on our property. We will dump it here. We will pay for it. We will monitor it, and we will indemnify the city of Choteau in case of an accident. Because after all, it's their business problem, and it's not the city of Choteau's business problem to
Is
solve.
Clayton still involved in that?
From what I've gathered and what I was told, he is going to maintain the porta potty business.
Oh, okay.
So, other than that, the couple of letters went out for revolving loans. We received word from one, the other one has not been picked up yet. I find myself writing more and more letters, and my correspondence file is getting bigger, and I'm also beating on Tom and Jody. I'm gonna call these guys and have a conversation with them. No, you're going to call them, have a conversation with them, and then follow up with a letter, because I want that paperwork trail, and it's getting better.
So did you call these two revolving loan fund ones?
Yes.
Did you talk to both of them?
No, one of them, Hero did, the other one is not responded. Speaking of the revolving loan, we have redone the loan application because of what's been happening. And what was a 2-page application is now a 10-page application.
I'll get it out to the committee to look at.
And Lyle has it.
Lyle has it.
Okay,
But we can't afford not to do it anymore. The one loan is several years past delinquent. The other one comes due in January. It hasn't had a payment in forever. So
Mr. Mayor, will that application need to be approved by council, or does it just need to go through the loan committee?
Just the loan
yeah,
committee.
just.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, it is busy. And it's a good busy. It's a hectic busy, and like any family, we have our issues, and I am going to vehemently deny on social media and public that I did not have a tantrum, and it is not on camera down here. So anyways,
Bill.
is there anything else tonight? Melody, you got anything for us?
I really don't.
A thinking cap idea that I've got really quickly. Sarah Coccoli mentioned, in her business, she sees a lot of folks coming new to town and she interacts with them. And there's more discussion on the welcome packet or welcome whatever. Is there interest from you guys on the council, from the rest of the community in some sort of information for folks to get involved? Or I don't know, we've got a lot of new faces in the community right now, more than since I've moved here, more than 10 years ago. is there an interest in that? Is there a way? I don't know. I guess I'm trying to gather my thoughts as I'm talking a little bit. But Sarah Cicoli's idea about, hey, let's put a sign up sheet to get people involved right when they sign on the title. That seems like a really good idea.
I would think that I'm working with the chamber, we could come up with something. And Steve, I have a list back on my desk that I found in the drawer of things that were available. When they close, here's a packet from the city and the chamber with some, important people, things like that. I've got that. You and I can.
If you want to sign up to join Lions or Seroptimists, or here's all the churches, yeah, something like that would be great.
Okay. I want to talk to you guys about council meeting, the first part of November, or first part of October, week of October 4th. For those of you keeping score. We were originally going to be at league meetings and in Helena, and they've gone virtual, but me being a double tasker, I scheduled a meeting for the night of the 5th, which would be our council meeting in Marysville, because it was close to Helena. So I'm wondering if we could do a noon meeting on the 5th. Or could we do a meeting the 4th, the evening of the 4th or the evening of the 6th? What works for you, Mel?
Not Monday night.
What's that?
Not Monday night.
I can do noon.
Noon's doable.
And basically, I'm
And the
expecting,
6th is doable.
I'm expecting us to have some addendums possibly, maybe some contracts
Claims.
and a couple of claims. Because it's only,
Low key meeting.
yeah,
It'll be the addendums to the contract.
Yeah.
with the-
anything else that comes up, I would push off to the following meeting on 19th.
I can do noon, one would be better, but I can do noon.
Mark,
I can do noon.
Same. Any noon on any of those days works.
Okay.
5th works,
1 o'clock,
or 6th works. I mean, 1 o'clock would work for me.
Mark,
Yeah.
Mark,
Let's do 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
One's better even.
Okay. We will have our next meeting then at 1 PM on October 5.
And I was gonna, maybe this is a long ways away, but October 26th, will we have a meeting?
No, we will not.
We don't need 3 meetings.
No,
no,
No, I just wanted to make sure if we're doing the 4th, well,
it'd be
5th.
first and third. It'd be 4/19
19th.
or 5/19. I mean,
Yeah.
5/19.
5/19,
I just-
26 would be
I
good.
wouldn't be able to make the 26th, I was just verifying.
No, we're over 5/19. Okay.
And then
Sounds
it's
good.
2 and 16 in November.
Yep, 2 and 16 in November, which would be an election day.
And a very likelihood that I will not be around for any of those.
I'll be Daddy D. So,
You
All
are not in the delivery room, you're not gonna log on?
Yeah, no, I don't think my wife would appreciate that.
2020.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
okay. Hearing nothing else. I have nothing else for you guys. Thank you out there in Facebook land for watching tonight and those who attended.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn and congratulations to our fire department on getting half the money towards their generator. Thanks, folks. Good night, all.
Good night.
Are we off?